Well, right now, Los Angeles Police Chief Jim McDonnell and LA Mayor Karen Bass are holding a joint press conference about the deployment of military forces. Let's listen into that.
Yeah, the mobilization is what we do internally to be able to get more officers out there. We declared that earlier, and now we'll have the ability to have roughly 400 additional officers deployed to the field.
Are you concerned with the federal mobilization? I mean, the National Guard and the Marines possibly coming this way?
Yeah, when I look at this, and my assessment may not be accurate based on this thing's continuously churning, but I see two parallel tracks that don't work together, if you will. We're dealing with the issues on the street that you see every day. We deal with that with LAPD resources. When we need additional resources, then we reach out to the sheriff, who brings in mutual aid. We have 14 different agencies working with us for that purpose. And then only if we weren't able to continue to deal with that, needed additional help, would we reach out to the sheriff, who would then request National Guard from the governor. Sure. So that's one line. The other part then is the National Guard were federalized by the president to support federal agents who are working on behalf of ICE to do their operation. The Marines were brought in then today, evidently, to join the Army National Guard in doing what their main mission has been identified as, which is the protection of federal employees and federal property.
Do you feel that incites those? Do you feel that makes it any different on the streets?
You know, I think everybody, it's a very emotional topic, absolutely. You know, could I quantify what that is? I think it has certainly heightened everybody's level of awareness and certainly anxiety. But to be able to quantify that, I wouldn't.
Chief, how are you avoiding
We'll take two more questions, and then the chief has to step out, but he'll come back.
How are you avoiding less lethal weapons being used on people who are merely there in the way, potentially? Because it doesn't seem like everyone that's being hit and is being attacked, including press. I don't know, like it doesn't really make any sense that people are just being shot at.
Yeah.
And can you
Sure.
explain how you would minimize or at least just not do that?
Yeah, we minimize it through training, through the equipment we use. It is a target-specific munition. That's not to say that it always hits the intended target, particularly in a dynamic situation. I know that the situation you're referring to with the member of the media, we saw that. We're very concerned about that, and we're looking into that.
And what about the horse trampling and well, the horse, the person on the horse?
We're also aware of that, and we're looking at that as well.
Chief,
Jeff,
go ahead, and then Mary Beth, and then he's going to come back,
if
guys.
I may. You know, all of the streets surrounding the federal building complex, Los Angeles, Temple, Aliso, Alameda, they've all been cleared. You've pushed the crowd away from there. I know you can't talk about all of your tactics, but in terms of the benchmarks that you want to hit tonight, are you moving people away from the freeway as well by clearing out those streets and moving them towards the west?
Yeah, we're trying to move them away from wherever the threat is. So if there are people assaulting officers, which is often the reason they're taking rocks or bottles or pieces of concrete, then they will attempt to disperse that crowd so that they're not enabled to continue to do that, and move them out. If they can target individuals who've been the ones who are the aggressors, who are throwing the rocks, and they can safely go in and arrest those individuals, they will. Some of those will be arrested later and after having been identified. And so this thing is moving forward in a way that some get frustrated with and watch. But we're out there, and we have an approach to this where we're not going to move a crowd into an area where it's going to cause additional problems, into the Civic Center or into the freeway. We're going to move them away where we think they can do the least damage, and we're going to try then and employ tactics that would minimize that even further.
How many businesses have been damaged and looted? I know their LAPD, one of the divisions had put out that there was some looting going on at 6th and Broadway. And as the National Guard, have they actually engaged with these protesters? Some media outlets were reporting that they were actually sending out tear gas, and I know on our channel we did not see that.
No, not that I'm aware of at all. That I'm aware of, there were at least 3 businesses that were broken into and property taken from them along Broadway and maybe other places. As far as the National Guard deploying anything other than around the federal building, I'm not aware of anything like that.
Right? Oh, headquarters damaged, correct?
Yeah, damaged, yeah. The whole Civic Center, there was significant damage as it relates particularly to
And you are looking live at a press conference with Los Angeles Police Chief Jim McDonnell and LA Mayor Karen Bass. They're talking about the deployment of military forces to downtown Los Angeles to handle the protests that have been happening since Friday. They actually began during our show on CBS News 24/7 and continue today. We're going to continue to cover all night long on CBSNews.com.